Today I'm going to show you how to fold a two-piece elephant created by Mark Kirschenbaum. You will need to start with two pieces of kami paper, colored on one side and white on the other. Start with one piece for the head. We're going to look at the white side of the paper. We will fold edge to edge, making a book fold. Line it up and make a firm crease, and unfold the paper, noticing you have a crease line down the center. We'll take now one bottom edge of the paper, fold it up to where that edge lies on the center crease, line it up nicely, and make a firm crease. We'll repeat on the other side. Take this edge, lift it, and line it up with the other side, making sure you have a nice point here at the bottom and an even horizontal line on the top. When you have it lined up, make a firm crease. Make sure these points are lined up nicely. We'll now turn our paper over. We're going to work on this folded edge of the model. You'll notice that there's paper, a layer of paper underneath. As you fold this edge, we're going to let that paper flip out. We're going to bring that edge up and lie it on the vertical crease that is lying on from top to bottom. Make sure it's lined up nicely with a good point here at the bottom. Once you have it lined up, make a firm crease. We will repeat on the other side. Take this folded edge, bring it up, let that back layer flip out, bring it over, lining it up with the other side, making sure that you have a nice point down here, a nice point up here. Once you have it lined up nicely, make a firm crease. We're going to look at this side of our paper, working on this flap only. We're going to lift the flap and push it over to the other side of the model, just using the natural hinge that is already there. No need to make a new crease, just folding it over. Now, just working on this top layer that we just folded over, we're going to take this raw edge and fold it over to lie on that vertical crease again, lining up the crease, making sure we have a nice point here at the bottom. Once you have it lined up, make a firm crease. Now work on this flap. We will start our crease right here at the corner, lifting that flap and bringing it over. What want to do is make this edge parallel to the top, to the center crease. So we'll line it up, looking at our parallel lines. So we got it lined up, make a firm crease. It should look like that. I'm going to go ahead and take that flap, rotate it back on the natural hinge, and you will notice you start having a trunk with an ear here. We will repeat this on the other side of our paper. Bring this flap over, just bringing it over on the natural hinge again. We will take this raw edge and fold it to the center crease. Again, lining up with that center line and making sure we have a nice point here on the bottom. Make a firm crease when you have that all lined up. We now have a landmark to help us with this next crease. We're going to take this point, starting our crease again right at the corner, bringing it down, and we're going to cover that little triangle, using that as a landmark to match the top with the bottom. Once we have a firm crease, lined up, we'll make a firm crease. Now take that layer, that top layer only, and bring it back using that natural hinge again. And you'll see now we have the trunk and 2 ears. Let's turn our paper over. We are now going to look at these 2 triangles, and we're going to fold them in half. What we're going to do is take this point, fold it over to lie on that point. So we will just fold it over like that. Move it up here so you can see it better. Take that point, lie it right on that point. The triangle will come below that horizontal edge, and you'll make a nice firm crease. Repeat that on the other side. Take this point, lie it right on that point. Let me show you again. This point over to that point. Line it up and make a firm crease. So you now have 2 small triangles on this. All right, our next landmark is right here at the bottom of those triangles we just made. We're going to make a crease that runs across here from point to point. We can use kind of our thumbnails as a guide when we start bringing this edge down. We want to make sure again that we're lining up this vertical crease and that our crease starts and ends at these 2 points. Okay, we can make a soft crease and then check our landmarks again, making sure that our crease starts at the bottom of those triangles. Once we have it, make a nice firm crease. Our next landmark is the bottom of this trapezoid. We're going to fold a crease right along there, not through these white triangles, which will become our tusks, but just right through here. How we will do that is lift our paper and gently start making a mountain fold at the bottom of that trapezoid. I'm going to gently make a mountain fold. I'll turn my paper over once I have it lined up, and then I will make my crease. Noticing that I let this paper flip out and I did not crease through those layers. Turn our paper back over to look at the white side. And we're going to take this point and bring it up to the folded edge and only make a very soft crease. We're just making a landmark right now, right in the center. You see, there's a little pinch right there. What we're going to do is bring the top edge down to that landmark, making a crease through this top layer here. You will notice there's leftover paper here, up here. That is the way it's supposed to be. All right, now we have that all lined up. We're going to make firm creases here. The next step, we're going to be bringing this point and this kind of side edge over to create the side of the ears on the top of the model. We'll be bringing this point to touch that center crease. And it's kind of hard to see, so I have a larger sheet of paper that I'm going to demonstrate. And we're going to be looking at this part, sort of this area of the model right here. We're going to be bringing this point over to touch that center edge. So from here to here. Meantime, you have all this paper up here that you have to deal with. So I'm going to gently fold it over to where I see that my point is touching my center edge. And then I'm going to direct my attention up here. And I have this layer that is going underneath this colored piece of paper. What I'm going to do is push my finger in there and make a squash fold so that the paper will lie down flat. And then when I turn it over, I'm going to have my tusk. And I'm going to have a little curved part to my head. Right, we're going to do the other side. I'm going to start bringing the paper over gently. And there's a lot of thicknesses, so take your time, bring it over. And we'll notice that this area starts getting bulky. We don't want it to come all the way over. We want this part to squash underneath that triangle. All right, let's go ahead and look at it again very quickly. I'm going to bring out another paper that's a little neater that I did pre-creased. It's kind of hard to crease while you're teaching, but you will notice that you have this triangle little piece of paper. That is where this paper will fold over and squash, while this point lines up with that center crease. The same thing will happen on the other side. We'll bring this point in, and as it comes in, we're going to squash it. Once we get it all lined up, we will see that we have our tusks, and they're symmetrical and they look pretty nice. Now I'm going to show you on my small piece of paper. I'm going to start bringing my paper over, and as I do it, it's going to be hard to see. I'm going to use a little tool. You can use your fingernail, but if you have a little tool, you can open up this area right here and squash it down, making sure that that point comes and lines up with that center edge. And then you have this nice little rounded head of your elephant. Do that on the other side. And start bringing it towards the center. Push my finger in here. Make a little squash. Notice that my points are pretty lined up here. My squashes are symmetrical. I will turn it over and I will notice that I have my tusks and they are symmetrical as well. And that is what you want to do for the head. We have the head now. We're going to bring our second piece of paper over, which is the same color as our head. Looking at the white side again, we will fold our paper side to side, making a crease down the center. This time we will not unfold the paper. Rotate it around to where the folded edge is at the top. Now take the corners and bring it towards the center, not all the way, just a little way, and we want to make a diagonal crease. Once we get it to where we like, we'll make a firm crease. Repeat on the other side, approximately the same amount and the same diagonal. And this is the body of our elephant. You'll notice these are the legs and this is the body. And now we have our head that we are going to put on. If you're going to send these to the elephant project that Origami USA is sponsoring, you will need to take some glue and glue down the legs. You might going to take the head, turn it over, put some glue kind of in all the layers. It can also be done with double stick tape. Make sure you do enough glue so that if you send it in the mail for the Guinness Book World Records attempt, it will stay during the transportation of the elephant to the zoo. You now have your completed elephant. If you would like, you can take a marker and draw some eyes, and you will be complete. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the elephant. Please make some elephants to send into the elephant project and enjoy. Have a nice day.